The truth is an irony, just like animal farm. Justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence. Islamic leaders silence. Kings and queens silence. Traditional leaders silence. So who go say the truth? We are the workers of composite call. Now by area, why no better? We are the workers of composite call. One guy's out here, why no better? Who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Oh, you need it now, see what I see so. Now your friend on a nine come at them. Only papi obeka na sembia. So I want one over to it. Everybody was afraid. And until I learned to my cottage again, once my boy dumping one another. But who go tell the truth? Nanai or say me. Nanso bien person beka wansam because everybody is afraid. Anya safwe muayini. Akukudro for nyina dalima. Who go say the truth? Obiaja konson so to grow your man sa to me bia ka kobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo when anyina ye. Na so kutrata down na so bi dia ba ko why no keke. Afene fo be manu mo piafo efo e. Ne cross on my mo. Anya safwe muayini. Akukudro for nyina dalima. And who go say the truth? Abaya di bote chino. Yedi bi bebo nyande bi. Kachisa udi oma upipi numa. Would your mind never shine my preference? But who go tell the truth? TUC, silence. Even journalists, silence. So then who go say the truth? Right is right, wrong is wrong. No matter how you justify. You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you. Now the person become your target. Jobless, no they mean senseless. Poverty, no they mean useless. One day, then go resist.
Welcome to another edition on MyView Show live here on TodayGhanaNews TV. My name is Lawrence Apinibwa. Today I'm sitting in for your regular host, Albert Alan Dachi. So don't be so confused. I'm sitting in for him. It's an honor and a big pleasure to have joined you this evening for such a beautiful show. Today is going to be very educative, interactive, and more interesting. So if you just join us, make sure that wherever you are joining us from, especially online, when you join us here, make sure you go to the like area. Just press the like, share, drop your comments, your thoughts, your views, opinion. We'll be so glad to read them out. And I wouldn't want to even waste much of your time today, because today I would like to take you to places that you don't even imagine will be going on this show. I have it's more or less like a personality profile that you are coming to do, and also dive into some sensitive and important areas, of which is more educative. So please, officially, let me welcome you. and also let you know that we are streaming live on other platforms. We have associate channels helping us to take this show to other places. So the online button, when you happen to join us on Facebook, please, the search handle is Today Ghana News TV, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn. The search handle is Today Ghana News. Make sure you share and drop all your comments. We'll be so glad to read them out. So we are also live on High FM 93.5 in Achiniman, Rara, and UT region, Adeleman Community Information Center, Tatali Northern Ghana, and some other platforms. So I believe we are going far. Please, I wouldn't waste much of your time today. I'll be having an interesting conversation with one man I take a cue from because of his background. I really respect him. He's a respected senior colleague, Mr. Fifi Asante Mpari. And today we'll be delving into some areas. We'll be delving a bit into his personal life. And we'll also be discussing about the importance of Ghanaians in the diaspora to serve serving in Ghana through political party leadership, which is very important. Most of the times we complain that for instance, we train people here in Ghana, or some of the Ghanaians who live outside Ghana. Supporting the country they live in currently with all the resources in terms of their ideas, their knowledge, and not coming back home to do more, or even there to support their country. So today, these areas and more that we'll be diving into, I would want you to join me whilst we have this conversation. It's not going to be me alone. So please, I wouldn't waste much time. Let me go straight to my guest for today, Mr. Fifi Asante Mpari, who is a seasoned journalist, radio presenter in Ghana. He's been a deputy communication officer for the NDC, the UK, Ireland, and today it will be an honor to interact with him, find out or get to know more about him, and also dive into the areas we'll be talking. Sir, good evening.
Very good evening to you, Lawrence, and thanks for having me.
Welcome. It's an honor to have you on the show. I don't know how to start it, but then, tell me how it has been like for somebody, like how the transition has been from a journalist, a radio presenter, to this stage that you are in. This is just like a starter for the conversation. Then we can dive into the conversation properly.
Okay, thank you. First and foremost, thank you, and good evening to all our listeners across the group. Let me actually correct that. I've never been a journalist.
Okay.
I've worked at BBC for
all right. Thanks.
About 6.5, nearly 7 years, but it wasn't on the journalism. I would say department. No, it was more on property development and what we call at that time it was Trillium, because I don't want to go into it, but it was I've never been a journalist, so let's get that straight before.
Thank you so much for the correction.
Taking out of context, yes, never been. I've been on shows, and I've always been on shows to represent my party NDC. Previously, I had my own channel, Diaspora Studios, which you can see the logo behind me. So I used to do my own programs online as well. But I've never been a journalist.
So we can say professionally.
I aspire to be. But,
so we can say professionally, you've not done it, but professionally, but you find your way somewhere around it.
That's correct. Actually, I did pure arts. The idea then was to be a journalist. That was the idea. But upon getting here, I realized that I have other interests in different departments. So I changed it from journalism into leadership and management. So I've come from leadership, management, organizational background. That is where I was developed. That is what I studied, and that is where I work. Or I work within that industry currently. Thank you.
Interesting. Thank you for the correction. But I'm also excited that some way, somehow, we are still around this space. Thank you. Now, I just want us to delve in a bit into your personal life. Then we can just move on down to the conversation we're having today. Well, we say, Mr. Fifi Asante, Barry, please. Uh, who are we talking about in some few words? How can we? Who is he?
Fifi Asante Impare is a very level-headed young man who was born in Edukromekrapim, early years of his childhood, parents based in Koforodia. So Fifi was then taken to Koforodia, which is stone throw from Edukromekrapim in the eastern region. Had my basic education back then, Crash Preparatory. Those who grew up at that time knew Crash Preparatory was one of the very good independent school then. Had the basic education there, then swapped from Crash Preparatory to few other another school, which is Roman Catholic boys. At that time, Roman Catholic, they had a boys' school, and so I went to a bit of a boys' school before going to New Dublin's secondary commercial, which is New Jasco, where I did my O level, and then the opportunity then came for me to further education in London or in Europe, and then I came to London. I've been here for quite a long time. 1998. I was very young.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty young. I didn't even know how I managed it, but I was now getting to know myself as a man. And then you have to be independent in a land that you did not have so much, or you did not know so much about, and you did not have the network that is required at that time to put you together or beat you into shape as a man. But look, thankfully, sometimes in our good old saying, they say travel and see, you know.
Mm.
So I got developed really well. This country gave me so much as well. And then at the same time, as a traveler from Ghana, as Nkrumah said, you can take the Ghanaian out of Ghana, or you can take the Ghana out of the Ghanaian.
Mm.
Um, the Ghana was never taken out of me. I always had that mind that, look, we need to do something. We need to go back home and support our native country, Ghana, support the indigenous people. And the only way to do that is to be at the table where the decisions are being made. And for you to do that, then you need to then join a political party. And the two big political parties in our country is the NPP and the NDC. We need to then look at it or you need to critically think through it and ask yourself, which of these ones will I or will I associate myself with? And to me, looking at emerging economy as a Ghana, poverty driven across, then it's better you join the Social Democratic Party. So I then joined the Social Democratic Party, the best party and the best decision I ever made, and to make sure that I'll be part of the NDC, and through that party, you'll be able to work your way to the table where decisions are being made, so you can then affect change. Yeah, so that's about me.
As aside these few you mentioned, are there any other things that motivated your choosing the National Democratic Congress? Are there any other things that motivated you going to that side?
Um, that's a pretty good question. I think
Mm.
1992, when the Fourth Republic gave birth, I saw the inception of the Fourth Republic. I saw the military regime, and then when then our leader, he was Flight Jerry John Rawlings. They used to call him then became a president. Rawlings was going about regions, trying to collate and town hall meetings, putting together the Fourth Republic that we have today in terms of democracy or democratic government that we were looking for. I saw a bit of that, not so much detail, but I remember these meetings and cars moving across regions, and especially Koforidua being Eastern Regional Capital. So there was a lot of engagement. So when it became reality, 1992, I was a student at Nebraska. I was among those who actually were going to well-to-do men because I had a very good connection because of my uncles and what have you, with a lot of people with deep pocket, those with a big wallet. So I went to some of them. I was able to mobilize, get funds from these people, gave it to some of the students who had registered back home for them to go and vote. And for me to do that, I think that was actually a huge or a bravery. Why? Because at that time, 1992, Koforidua, which is now New Jabin South, was predominantly an MPP stronghold. You dare not even mention NDC. People will come after you with sticks and what have you. But I think back and I think at that age, I was doing that. I remember we used to go on rallies and I would be following them. I was young, but just following them. And somebody would go and tell your mother, hey, your son Fifi is following NDC. And by the time you get home, you got green face around the house. And you think, holy here, what's going on? Is somebody dead? No, it's you. You are the one who is going to die that evening. And then mom will pull me and say, hey, Kofi, I've heard you are following NDC. And I said, yes, ma'am. Then he goes in our local language. The NDC. So I looked back into some of these things and I thought, hold it, NDC is actually in the blood because I've come from a predominantly an MPP household where those who knows the Impari family, SK Impari and what have you, these were some scholars from Prempeh College and what have you, my uncles and things, and they're all predominantly an NPP. But NDC, it came from my heart. I'm one of those that, and I'm happy I did that because I've managed to convert a lot of the family across from NPP to NDC today.
Interesting. Now, before I even dive into the main topic for discussion, I think we'll have to discuss something around it. I've been in conversations with people, or maybe I've been in places where conversations are happening, and it's centered around people who, for some reasons, get the chance to travel outside and not coming back again. People, especially, let's say, nurses, teachers, other people in other respected fields get the opportunity. Some even go to school with the idea of going to school, coming back with the knowledge that have been acquired to come help the country. And for some reason, they go and they get stuck. They don't come back because of, I don't know, maybe the better salary structures and other benefits that is available to them at the moment. They don't come back. For some reasons, it's been a problem. It's been a cause of worry. Now, for somebody like you are in politics, even though you are not in Ghana, but wherever you are trying to support or you are trying to work for Ghana through politics. How best can these issues be addressed for people who go and never come back again with everything acquired, with the knowledge, the resource? How best can we address this as a country?
Thanks for that question. I think is very important and pivotal question that you've asked. There used to be war, or there was a narrative out there, which I believe there used to be. It wasn't just a narrative. While they even termed it the brain drain, because governments or emerging economy or African government used to send scholars to the West. to come and educate themselves, whether it's Europe, whether it's the United States, you name it, whether it's Australia. And then many of them, because of the I would say the perks that they get, they tend to not go back, which was termed as brain drain. But that status quo is changing. Now the brain drain is becoming a brain gain. I'm one of those that, look, United Kingdom has given me so much, and I love United Kingdom. But I'm a believer in it will only take Ghanaians to be able to develop Ghana. And that is one thing Ghanaians across the globe have to realize. No other inhabitants or people would develop our country, or nationals would develop our country, Ghana, for us, with the exception of the indigenous Ghanaian. Why do I say that? We understand the culture. We know what our problems are. We've had opportunity to travel. We've been educated. We've seen both sides of the coin. And we are the ones who can go and affect change and implement some of these changes, whether it's within government or whether we do it independently, or whether it's to do with collaborating with other agencies. It would take Ghanaians. And I'll give you a typical example. In the 1950s, around 1949 to the 50s, it took the Chinese diasporans who were sent to America. Some of them were scientists, engineers, and what have you, to return back around 1955. So within 6 to 5 years, whatever they've gained, and then they went back to go and help their indigenous country, China, to develop to the scale where we see China today being so attractive and being one of the superpowers in the world. It took the Chinese diaspora to do that. I'll take you back down history again. South Korea in the 1960s to the 70s did the same thing. They sent a lot of students who came to the West to come and study PhD, industrialization, and what have you. And they went back computing, and they developed their country to put South Korea where it is today through industrial revolution. So when we sit back and we think we are enjoying the perks here and we forget about Ghana, that will be a very blow to the country, because the human resource of Ghana need that blend, the local blend and the foreign blend. You need to try and blend both. We need the local, we need the foreign, blend them together. Some of us expertise, we will have doctors, you will have engineers, you will have computer programmers, you name it. And we could go back and change the direction of our country. It's doable. And I want every Ghanaian who will come across this have to think through it. The good thing is many Ghanaians, and let me speak from this part of the world, in the United Kingdom, if I look through the NDC UK and Ireland chapter today, the professionals that we have, the NDC has its own professional forum, and the UK and Ireland chapter, the professional forum, and the professionals that we have, following the party, they want to give back to the party. Look, during election, the diaspora played a very key role. We winning our last election.
Right.
I was among one of those. I went to Ghana 7 times in a year, being on radio, being on TV, being on campaigns, local campaigns in New Durban South. We did a change campaign. We did New Durban South. I was there. I participated. We on a week or no, about a month to election, the whole chapter members, countless, were in Ghana. Some of us were trained as polling station agents. We campaign in Ashanti region, Bosomtwe areas, and what have you, the hinterlands, to make sure a change happens. And it did happen. So the input of the diasporans, the Ghanaian diaspora, is very, very important. It's
sometimes people feel those in the diaspora, you only hear them talking and they don't even do some groundworks. I think there's more or less like an insight to let people know how the diaspora also contribute, even in elections.
Yes, some of us were polling station agents.
Hmm.
I remember we were trained in Ashanti region. We campaigned. Actually, my diaspora team, UK and Ireland team, they were about 3 weeks ahead because I had a minor surgery. And after the surgery, by the time I got there, I met them in Ashanti region. They've been to Western region. They've done Upper East, Upper West, Northern region. They've worked their way through the North all the way. So I met them in the Midlands of Ghana, which is Ashanti region. Joined them in the Bosomtwe. We spent about 3 days or 3 nights at Bosomtwe campaigning in all these little towns, villages, and what have you. From there, we moved to Ashanti region. That was 2 days before election, where we were actually trained as a polling station agent. I remember that very day, Dr. Omane Boama of blessed memory was even there. We were properly trained to understand how people easily sign off some of our sheets and handed it over without checking it out properly. So we did this. From there, I moved from there to Eastern region. Some of my colleagues went back to North. Some stayed in Ashanti. Some went to their local constituencies. So we play a very, very, very pivotal role. On election day, I was part of the Eastern Regional Monitoring Team. We went to Adesu, what is it called? There is this guy constituency, Fotobi. There's an area called Fotobi between Ebri and Insamwem. We were all over these places. And before counting, we were then based in Koforodia, making sure that the counting is done, no rigging, what have you. So we worked tirelessly. Unfortunately, there's that narration, they think we just sit on TV or on radio and speak. But that's not true. That's not true at all.
Because I think for one of there was an appointment, and the person happened to be somebody who does not really stay as the diaspora, and it got a lot of people talking. So in people's mind, for those in the diaspora, it's only the money you contribute, and after the money, there's nothing else. So,
but even if it is the money, there was a famous pastor said, "Look, the gospel itself is free, but it takes money to carry it." Apart from our physical presence, if I tell you the amount of money that the UK and Ireland donated to the other party, it was a record amount of money. It has never happened. Donated to the mother party. We hosted our now vice president here for a fundraising dinner dance. I played a very pivotal role. Why? Because I was part of the organization of that dinner dance. I gave my 2 shopper vehicles on a discount base to ensure that this comes together. I work very closely with my other colleagues to ensure on the day security in terms of ushering and what have you, venue. There was so much that went into it, and there are a lot of NDC UK and Ireland chapter members who worked tirelessly making sure these things happen. So apart from our physical presence there, our fans also made a lot of impact. They needed the money. Without money, you can't win elections in Ghana. It's a fact. So even if they are just the chapters are just contributing money, I think that alone speak volumes. That alone speak volumes.
Right. After elections, what are some of the inputs of these diasporan politicians? Again, after the elections are won, or whether it's won or not being won, what are the inputs? Again, in terms of even governance, because of by for of the people, by the people, and for the people. How are you even benefiting from what is happening in Ghana? What's the contribution thereafter?
Thank you. I think sometimes people see as benefit is direct. No, you can have a lot of indirect benefit. So why do I say that? When MPP was in power, a pound or dollar to the cedi was 17, and the pound was I think around 14 something, or 15 actually. Oh yeah, 14, almost 15. That was impacting our pocket. Inflation was sky high. That was impacting us. Anything that is done, look, there is no country that is an island. So far as you have relation, you have projects, you have businesses back home, whatever happens back home, it will affect you. Because if you are to look after 2 or 3 or 4 families, at that time, inflation was just making the currency, or put the currency in a very junk state. And so indirectly, changing government has saved even us. Some of us now we can breathe easy. Inflation is gone very, very low. Unemployment, yes, we still have that issue. We're not out of the woodworks yet, but it's better. Economy has stabilized. The economy during their time was so fluctuated to the point that you just couldn't believe when I go into market with the same amount of money that I went last week, what you were going to get. That was how bad it was. But now you can plan 2-3 months, 1 year, knowing that, look, this thing is stabilized and these prices are going to stay the same. So these are some of the direct benefits. Yes, there are also direct benefit. We travel to Ghana personally, we spend money, and we contribute into that economy. Spending money there, you know that, look, this amount of money, this is what it could do. Some of us, or a lot of us, we have projects there. We know that, look, a bag of cement is this, and that is where it stays. It doesn't move the goalpost from maybe 45 Ghana cedis or 90 Ghana cedis to 200 Ghana cedis. So these are some of the benefit. Normally, people tend to just look at the benefit of you being employed, and it's not all the time, because government cannot employ everyone. That is one thing that we need to look at it and be careful of. Yes, we are the Democratic Party. Social Democratic Party means the government then invest a lot more and take in a lot more of the problems of the people and make sure it's resolved. But we need to sit in between. We need to get that blend right. I'm not hard left and I'm not hard right. I sit in between to make sure where government can support, government also support. Where individuals can also establish, and then take in some of the burden to ensure that we have a better Ghana. So that to me is the indirect. Direct, we have some of our colleagues who have also been appointed in government, and what they're going to do is they're going to contribute their fair quota, their intellectual, their expertise to help shape a better Ghana. So to me, it's a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation. We don't always have to see, oh, what do I get? What do we get? What do we get out of it? But sometimes we need to ask ourselves, what do we give? Because there is a great saying. They said the men who planted tree knew that tree will not grow for them to sit under to get a lovely breeze. But they plant these trees for the future generations. And some of us, that is what we need to do. We know we might not sit under those trees to get the breeze that we're looking for, but that doesn't mean we should not do the planting. We should we should carry on with the planting for the future generation, for them to come and sit under these trees to get the fresh breeze that we are all yearning for.
Right. I think you made us understand your love for the NPP as a party, NDC as a party in general. I beg your pardon. And also, please, wait your man can you crab? Wait your man can you crab is so much. So you made us understand your love for the NDC as a party. And also, I would like us to, because you were just brought up from the party, let's say. So can you walk us through your journey as a communication officer, how it even started? Some of the things that you feel the party itself, in terms of the communication structure, is doing well. What are we? What was the party lacking? What can be done to make it even better?
Okay, thank you. I said to you, I study pure arts. So I'm one of those literature students. Whether it's African prose, European prose, or proper African drama, European drama, and then I did government as part of my core subjects. So I study government in addition to all my literature and books and what have you. And then I believe that those stand the combination of RS and what have you. So it gives you a bit of religious studies ideas. I've always been very eloquent, speak my mind. And when I came to Europe in a very early age, I forgot about politics totally. I was so focused on different things. And I had that awakening again. I sat on the fence for quite a long time. I was looking at what was happening. And actually what really gave me the reality check was when we lost the 2020 election. When we lost the 2020 election, at that time I had my online studio that I was speaking on social issues in Ghana and what have you, because I started thinking, look, a lot has to be done to help the country. So I was sitting on the fence, and then I realized that sometimes when you sit, you're part of the crowd that or the fans that sit at the back, you can see what is happening on the pitch, and you'll be
The
able to
backbenchers.
exactly you'll be able you'll be able to pinpoint where a party is going wrong or where you think you can also come in and help. So I decided, look, I'm gonna go and help out as a communication. I had that in mind, no question about that. So I joined, and luckily enough, they've seen some of my videos. So I was headhunted by Chief Malik of blessed memory, who called me from Omega Studios. I was there to talk about have a conversation about something and say, look, we need you. We want you to come on board. At that time, I had already joined as a member. And I've always come from an industry background where I spoke to you leadership, management, organization, which leading comes with a lot of strategic communication, effective communication, because you're going to lead all different characters, and you need to know how to manage this. So it was okay for me to easily blend in and then do what I do. As a communicator, at that time was the party doing great. I think the party had a super communicator, a national communicator at that time, who was Sammy Gemfi. They were everywhere. They were doing amazing. But I looked at it from the chapter's point of view. When I came in, we realized that the presence, communication has changed. And let me
Totally.
start from there.
Totally.
Communication has totally changed from the traditional communication where you just have to go to radio and TV or design flyers and push it around. No, it has changed. You need to come out. So I looked at what was happening within the corporate, and then myself and my team, I work, my boss, Kwame Owusu, I salute you, sir, and then Richmond Jikushi, he was a chapter executive, or still even a chapter executive. We built a solid communication team. We synthesized information. We looked at what we were lacking in terms of our digital presence, online presence, technological, and then we thought, let's put something together. So we came out with a roadmap for the communication strategy for the UK and Ireland. We presented this roadmap to our executives who were kind enough, they approved it for us, or gave us the power to carry on and implement this the detail that we had on that roadmap. We then had a meeting with our extended executive who also approved it. And that's it. Once we were given the nudge, we started working effectively on that roadmap. And that roadmap was based on 3 or 4 columns. Ensure that we have a very, very, very strong online presence. Make sure that we have digitalized the chapter, and also ensure that communication within the chapter is streamlined. So these were very, very important to our heart. So our first project, we built a one-stop shop of an IT project, which we call it the phase 1 of our IT, or we entitled it the phase 1 of our IT project. We built our website, which was a one-stop shop. It was amazing, the launch of it. We had people like Honorable Joyce Bauer, who co-hosted the event with myself, and we then launched that. Based on the success of that, it's like any other project. You will go through initiation, implementation, and what have you, and then you need to then sit back after the project has been unleashed. You sit back and look at where there are few hiccups and things. So we picked up that, look, one of the things that to us was very important, we used to push people around to try and get membership. If somebody wants to join the NDC, oh, get this number, call this person, call that person. We thought, no, we have to move away from that. So we introduced an online form, which is on a digital online form, which is on our website. So if somebody wants to join, all they do is they go to our website. You just click which area you are. We have now 30 branches. So select a branch closer to you, fill up your details, boom, click that button, and then the chapter gets it. But we realized that the chapter was getting the forms. It wasn't now going to the branches. So it gave us a bit of backlog. So we then went back and put a few touches to those, make sure that those loose ends were tidied up beautifully. We then did it in a way that within the back end, as soon as you click that button, a copy goes to the branch that you've chosen. A copy goes to, you can make also your payment there. It's nobody's chasing you for payment. With that payment, you cannot submit that form. So these were some of the digital presence that we had. And it took a lot of non-core work from the branches as well. It took a lot of people, oh, take that paper, call this person, and what have you. It sanitized the system. It sanitized the system. Now we've even moved this system further to the point that you can even go and pay your membership there. We're moving to phase 3 now. We've done phase 1, phase 2. We're moving to phase 3, where you can go and pay your membership dues through the system. And we even working on the back end of the system, where the system will even do a division, because when monies are paid, there are certain divisions that has to be done. That we will deploy a code that will do that division, and then send the monies to the appropriate locations. So a lot of these things were done. We then introduced what is called a newsletter. So events across the branches in a week, we bring it together. We will have a newsletter. We put it online as well, and then it goes on our platform. We realized that you cannot run a whole chapter from a WhatsApp group. We need to have or solidify the technologies and the around us today, and also leverage on some of the things that I've spoken about to ensure we have a better chapter. And apart from that as well, I think with regards to dissemination of information, we done pretty well. We made sure that anything that is done here is well highlighted. Look, there are some of the things that I can't say, some of the strategies that I cannot mention here. We actually had meeting with so many editors across Ghana. within
Right.
Joy Online. I don't want to mention names. Graphic Online, name it. So we had meetings here in Ghana, here in UK, and when we in Ghana, we have meetings there when we took over to make sure the relationship was broken. We did not have relationship with these people, but we made sure we build this relationship that when there is a news or there's an article or we write and send it to them, boom, it's out there. So these were some of the things that we did, and I'm pretty happy with the team, the work that we've done. It took us 3 years, and for us to be able to do all this within 3 years, I think it's a great achievement. But it's not just me. It's not just my boss Owusu. It's all of us as collective, and also the chapter members and the chapter hierarchy in terms of the executives who gives us the opportunity and the go ahead to be able to implement these changes. Because it's one thing to be a change agent, but when change is not communicated effectively, it's difficult to deploy this change. So I believe it was communicated properly, and then we were given the go ahead to do this. Yeah. So in communication, that's what we did.
We've so far done 50 minutes of interesting conversations, and I think I'm even learning a lot from the conversation. At this point, I would want Mr. Fifi Asante to just take a break, drink some water, sip some water, whilst we take a breather. We'll be back with some more exciting just on the conversation. So this is still my view live on TodayGhanaNews TV. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Don't go nowhere, but if you join us on our platform, just make sure you share, you like, and drop your comments. When we are back from the break, we'll take time to read all your comments. I'll be back after this short break. Don't go nowhere.
Welcome to Beyond Makeup, where beauty and confidence are taken to a whole new level. Here, we pamper and take care of you like royalty. Enjoy our gentle waxing, refreshing facials, and soothing massages that melt away stress and leave your skin glowing. We also offer professional makeup services, manicures, pedicures, durable nail extensions, and perfectly sculpted ombre brows. We give you the most perfect soft lashes that highlight your natural beauty. At Beyond Makeup, every visit is more than just a service. It's an experience of care, elegance, and transformation. Locate us at Chado Last Stop or call us on 0559 933 505 or 0506 474 911. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Beyond Makeup, your journey to wellness starts here.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Enka osro hine. Ka Apostle Stephen Amuakoho, Okwantrofo Penyi, ene kofabaye edema. Inner World of God Ministry International, ewa Biblical Truth. Miminda ediye nimi, ene miminda biya. Abra abo enumre nonson Ghana time. Yeyini life, ewa Today Ghana News TV. Biblical Truths. Power, power, power.
Back from the short commercial break, it is still my view live on Today Ghana News TV. Let me take some few comments and I'll go back to my respected guest on the show, Fifi Asante. This one is coming from Bombay. He says, what's their chapter's relationship with the current High Commissioner? I think he's also listening. After this, he will answer some of the comments. We'll have answers to some of the comments, then we can continue the show. This one is coming from Comkela. Please, if I don't mention your name well, kindly forgive me. Your contributions to the UK Ireland chapter is well noted. This one is commending Fifi. Margaret Houston Ahima says, a wonderful show. He's very good. He's a very good communicator. Why won't he still stay in there? Why won't he stay in as a communication officer? Watching from Nkwanta, he will answer to that from Margaret. So Fifi Asante Mpare is an asset to the NDC Ireland chapter. Go hide. This one is from KO Achille. All right. Jiboje says, good, very good answer. I love your direct benefit answer watching from Suyane. I would like to take a pause here on the comment. I'll come back again and read more of them. But I think so far, even in the comment section, there's been some questions that I would like Fifi Asante to tackle. So somebody was asking, said that you are good in the communication. You are good as an officer. In fact, listening to you myself, I'm realizing, or I'm beginning to wonder how you were able to, employ some of the strategies that even helped or contributed to the winning of the elections. Why won't you stay there and make sure it progresses like that and it gets better?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And it's a very important question. And sometimes it's good you clarify some of these things. Then people know. Look, politicians over the years have tend to stay in positions that they think they excel in. And this is my domain, and I want to be here. I think when we started having the conversation, I did mention to you, I've come from the corporate background, and I went to a total different school of leadership and management. And within the corporate background, you always want to look at where you think you can add value, and then go for that challenge. We've done great work at communication, as my colleagues and the executive Comkela and what have you have mentioned. We've given the UK and Ireland chapter a very good professional facelift. Now, if somebody is writing an email from a branch, they have their own professional domain or email that they use. The systems are very streamlined. It's synchronized. We still even coming out with few other projects before we sign off there. A project with an app called the Chapter in Your Pocket. You see, these are great things that we've done. But sometimes when you set the columns and you think, look, my work is finished here, one of you within the team can take over that work. You then need to look at where else there is work to do within the chapter. Imagine we strengthen communication so much, and then there are other departments within the chapter that is crying for help, and you think, hold it here, I have the expertise to do this, and you don't go out there and do that or implement that, then you will have a walking wounded chapter. A chapter that will be firing on just one turbine or one Rolls-Royce engine if it is an aircraft. But that's not what we want. We want to fire all the turbines, fire all the Rolls-Royce engines within the chapter, so that there is not so much weight just on one side. So I believe that question is being asked because of my intention to go as a organizer, to contest as an organizer, because our organizing position has been left vacant by the predecessor, Musa Adamu. I salute you, my boss. He's done a fantastic work. But it's
this person wouldn't let us jump to that side, because we are just walking slowly there. We are just moving the conversation slowly there. So please, whoever asked this person, Vivi has done justice to the question. We'll just come back to our organizing slots. We'll just move like that. I beg. Somebody was also asking in the comment section that what's the chapter's relationship with the High Commissioner in the UK?
Oh, we have a very, very cordial, very great relationship with the High Commissioner of UK and Ireland. We, as a chapter, personally have a great. She's a very close to my heart, a very lovely sister. Hechi, her Excellency Madame Zita Sabah Johnson is absolutely a phenomenal figure, and we love her to bits. We support her when she reach out to us. When we reach out to her, there's never been a time that I've messaged her that she doesn't get back to me within 5 minutes. I don't know how she does it, and it's not just me. Yeah, it's not just me. She's a proper. She's not an armchair kind of a high commissioner. She's a proper workaholic. She works and works and works, but it doesn't matter what time you will message her, she will get back to you. So the chapter, we have a super relationship with her.
I think I saw messages from, I saw some comments from Honorable Nana Akom. If director can display that, because today all the DCs and the MCs, they are all on the show watching. Honorable, wherever you are, Nana Akom, Honorable Nana Akom, please, big salute to you. If we can display your message again, I'll be very, 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 very happy so that I can read it out. Yes, so one would want to ask, still on the role diasporans play in the area of politics and leadership in the country, one would ask, if you get to a level or a country where you are being treated well, where you are, you are okay. For instance, our bills in Ghana is not what you pay, even though living outside comes with its own stress and all that. But some of the benefits and opportunities you enjoy is quite different from what we have now. Somebody will ask, why do people get to this level, and why is it important that after getting to that level, you still need to come back to support with whatever you have or you've acquired over there? Somebody would ask, why? What's the zeal?
Yeah. I think people are. It's a thought-provoking question, and people are allowed to ask that. Sometimes I even ask myself that. In life, sometimes the chips will be down. Whether it's a political journey that we are making or whatever, sometimes the chips are going to be down. You're not going to have people praising you all the time. You're going to get a lot of criticism, and when the chips are down, sometimes I ask myself the same question. But look, let's take it this way. It's a calling. It's a calling. And there is a scripture that says, because you have not done it for your brother or sister, you have not done it for me. I believe those who go to church every Sunday, then they will be able to they'll be able to tell us where exactly it is. I don't know which part of the Bible, but I remember that scripture echoing. So it's a calling. First and foremost, there's no place like home. Okay? We are here. We can see what they are doing. Look, there are times I travel to Ghana and I've sat in my car and tears have dropped down. It's not because I'm sad for no reason. I see young girls, young boys by the roadside. And then you can compare them to either your daughter or your son, and then you ask yourself, if God did not open doors, if you have not had these opportunities, maybe this could have been you, this could have been your daughter, this could have been your son. So sometimes in serving, you need to try and have a bit of empathy, empathize with the people, empathize. Look, are we happy when we travel to Ghana and we will see a young Ghanaian who you can easily sit back and say, this lady, she's got a future, and she's by the roadside selling? We should ask these questions. So what can we do as diasporans to change that? All we could do is to go back and offer our service offer the services. To me, I see as calling, I see as a service to render to the country. Many diasporans, when they are asking, oh, I want this position, I want that position, it's not because of the money involved. Many, it's because they have something special and they believe they can make difference when they are given a particular department. They can run it effectively. They can bring change to that department. That would then impact the people of Ghana. And to me, that is how I see it. Yes, I ask myself, there have been few occasions that I've said, look, I came here as a student with my student backpack, okay? Today, I have to go back home. Maybe I need a whole ship to put all my belongings in there to go back. So, is that not enough? But no, I'm not satisfied. I have a sleepless night about Ghana. Ghana is in my mind. Ghana is in my mind because I believe we will be able to implement some of the changes that is required. I gave you typical examples, the Chinese, the South Koreans, and what have you. These people, when they blended with the locals and then they brought the change that today these countries have, that are calling them superpowers. They've taken away, yes, you cannot eradicate economic suffering. It's there. You cannot eradicate poverty. It's there. But you can come out with social interventions that at least safeguard some of these poverty-ridden communities and families that we have in Ghana. So it's a service. That's all it is. Thank you.
Right. Now, I just want us to, take a look at the role, that zeal, that edge to move from a communications officer to the party's organizer in the UK Ireland chapter. What inspires this decision?
What I think I touched on it. What inspired the decision is I'm a change agent within leadership, management, organization. I've always been a change agent. Those who have studied organization knows that. Look, every organization, and I did mention that. Look, I've come from corporate, so sometimes you're going to get a bit of the industry part of me where I think I've exhausted a particular department. I need a new challenge. And one of the new challenge is it's not just to go there and say, look, everything is fine here, but I want this challenge. No, the predecessor did a fantastic work, but we need to upscale it to the 21st century kind of organizational committee or organizational department that we're looking for within the chapter. And what am I saying when I talk about 21st century? We need to ensure that the right columns are set. Organization have moved from traditional organization as well into a lot more embracing technology, embracing collaboration, embracing or building bridges between the corporate world and political parties. Sometimes political parties, we are not Ireland, and that is one thing we need to understand within organizational point of view. For us to be very successful, okay, we need to be able to have somebody who can negotiate. He sat on that negotiation table. He understands how to negotiate. He understands how to collaborate. He understands how to build bridges between a political party and corporate firms out there. Because if you build that bridge, majority of political parties are looked after in terms of donation or sponsored by corporate firms. It doesn't cost these firms any money. Why? Because any money that is donated to you to build a better political party, they take it back through taxes. And these are some of the things that I can go and negotiate on behalf of the build a very extensive cooperation with collaboration between corporate companies and the chapter, so that the UK and Ireland chapter, look, we can have a super foundation, whether it comes with owning our own assets. I have these ideas. Whether it comes with getting our events sponsored by corporate organizations. I know these companies. I've worked in some of them. There are some of them that I have business relationship with. I can pick up a phone and I'll be able to make that. Look, Lawrence, imagine you are part of the UK and Ireland chapter, or you are part of NDC, and then you travel to London and you can walk to Hilton's and say to Hilton's, or I want a reservation here tonight, or whilst you are booking your reservation, you quote NDC UK and Ireland chapter, and straight away 25% or 30% is off the fees. Wouldn't you love it? These are the opportunities that we are missing. We have the numbers. We need the right people that could go out there and make sure that we leverage on on the numbers that we have. We leverage on the political name that we have as a ruling party, as one of the formidable parties in Ghana, and then build extension so our international officers or national officers could come here and they will be able to take advantage of this. And it takes a leader who understands this terrain to be able to negotiate some of this. We need to be able to synchronize our events in a way through calendar by bringing technology and digitalization in as well. I've worked with that department. Okay. One thing that people don't realize is communication and organization have a very, very thin line. We work very close together. And having set the columns in communications and knowing what happens there, it's easy for you to be able to go in as an organizer and set the right columns and then make sure you work seamlessly together. If we are able to do this, look, we put up a corporate event in Bedford that I believe the chapter has never seen before. And I was a communication officer, but I played a pivotal role within organization of that. I understand the corporate organization. It just, look, organization has moved away from arranging table and chairs or putting the banners and putting the flyers around. It has totally moved away from that. I'm not saying that table and chairs will arrange themselves, but these are non-core. And what you could do with us a head or as an organizer to make sure you can classify what is core, what is non-core, delegate what is non-core for a team to do it, and then what is core you take over, and then that team is then reporting back to you. And this is what we need to do within the UK and Ireland chapter. My job is to go there for 4 years, set up those columns as well, and then after that, handing over to the future of the young and women and young men within the chapter.
Great. I believe you sitting back before you even made this decision, aside the good work that the predecessor has done before he left for that slot to be open, you've made some comment, or you've touched on some of the things that you saw the loops and you came in with, like the tech. You've talked about collaboration, you've talked about negotiations, and what are the other loops? Like you sit back and realize that no, even though the predecessor was doing a good work, but there was an error somewhere, of which the people should expect that when you come this area, what is your main focus actually?
I think there is always room for improvement. There's nothing that is 100%. There's always room for improvement. The predecessor, look, with the resources that he had, he did a fantastic work. I was part of the organizational subcommittee, and that is one thing that people, I think, is great for people to know as well. As communication, deputy communication, you sit within the organizational subcommittee. And my colleagues, including the predecessor, will understand that within the organizational subcommittee, some of the ideas that we put together, synthesized, and that we brought forward, it did help. But he is the overall. Even though that department is totally different, we had the privilege to serve as part of it and then also see what is happening there. I'm not going to touch on what went wrong and what hasn't gone wrong. As I said, in every organization, there's always room for improvement. And I'm going to take it to or scale it up to a different level. Handing it over doesn't mean we will still have 100% organization. Whoever then takes over have to then look at it. Look, we live in a world that within the past 15 years, look at the changes, the technological changes that we have. 20 years ago, there was no, I would say, or maybe 20, 22, 23 years ago, there was no email phones, there was no picture phones that could take pictures. The iPhone was not even in existence. But within the 20 years, look at the changes. That is the pace that this world is at. So if you do not have pace setters, change agents within a political party who can see that, look, we can't keep on recycling positions all the time, believing that I've been here for long, but rather giving opportunity to those who have the requisite skill set to take either a political party or organization or a company to a different level. Then
that will be one of the qualities of every good leader, handing over power to some other people.
Thank you. We will be very stagnant. We will be very stagnant. And I'm not one of those that I possess power, because position is not possession. I don't like it. I don't even like it. Sometimes I ask myself, why are you even doing this? You're worrying yourself too much. You can sit in the comfort of your seat and put your feet up. But as I said, it's a calling for some of us. So we will go there and we will make a difference.
Now it's time to get the viewers or the listeners involved. This one says, kindly ask him, after winning the chapter organizer position, how does he want to position the UK Ireland chapter? Watching from France, watching from Paris, France. That is from Robert Kimble.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Robert. It's absolutely great question. I think I've mentioned some of the things. If I'm
Right.
the great members of UK and Ireland chapter, if they see, look, I'm a very, very genuine person, and I'm not one of those that love position and think, look, I have to be. If they realize that I do not have what it takes to take that chapter to the next level, they shouldn't vote for me. Don't. Even if you are my brother, don't vote for me. But if you know and believe in me based on the track record that I've mentioned, and you believe that we will be able to implement change, then please do. And when you do, as I said, we will have a very, very, very exciting chapter. That this chapter is going to work across. We will bring our branch organizers very close. We will build a bond and have programs, make sure the chapter is highlighted across United Kingdom as never before. We will ensure that digitalization technology becomes one of the forefront within the organization. We will ensure that collaboration with corporates will be one of our key things as within the organization for the UK and Ireland chapter. It's very, very important. We will make sure our presence within corporate events are felt, and this will also give us what is called a membership drive. We will work seamlessly with the women organizer, the youth organization, the organization subcommittee to ensure that welfare within the chapter is taken to a different level. I have some great ideas. I'm not going to touch on those today because we're keeping the best to last.
Great. Please, if I may ask, somebody would also want to know how many so far of you are contesting for that kind of slot?
I only know of 2 currently, but it's early days. Maybe we will have a lot more of my colleagues. Yes, but look, to me, I'm a great believer in contest. I love contest. Let's all of us contest each other, and then let the people decide who is the best person for them to lead a department. And look, there's a simple saying: the voices of the people is the voice of God. So whoever wins, or let the best person wins, I would say.
So from the comment section, somebody is also trying to ask that what are the chances of winning? You've done a lot of work from as a communication officer. You've had a, I mean, you still have some great ideas if you should become the organizer. Now, what are the chances?
Thank you. I think there is, in every situation, there are probabilities, and these probabilities, you need to wear it. To me, I look at the probabilities, but the probabilities are based on the proven track record, what you've done, from communication and what have you, to here. Anything that we promised within communication was delivered. So if such a figure, okay, we look, some of us, we cut differently. If I can't do something, I won't even come near it. I will not even come near it. Why? Because once I've promised, I have to deliver. And looking at those proven track records, anything that we promise as a team, we've delivered it. Then one has to ask themselves, hold it here. They've delivered it, and they've done it in style within a limited time, 3 years. And we're going to give him a mandate of 4 years. And he's saying, look, he's actually going to take this chapter to a different scale. Then we have to give him the opportunity. But I will appeal to the great people and the members and our dear comrades of the UK and Ireland chapter, when that time comes, for them to give me the nudge. Their votes will not be in vain. If I disappoint, I will not even sleep well. I won't just be disappointing myself. I'll be disappointing the team that have so much belief, the members that have so much belief in me and gave me that mandate. So we will serve you with humility. We will serve with respect. We will serve to ensure that the UK and Ireland chapter in P, you can be a baby, and that is what I want to do, and leave that mark with the team that I will build, the organizational team that will come together and produce one of the most greatest stories of the chapter.
The body for I believe I've asked your question for you. This one is watching from London. He says, Kiki Mami Ekwa Ayete. Watching from London. Thank you so much, Kiki, for watching. Our fees consult says the right choice for the organizational office in the chapter is a fantastic thinker. No, sorry, he's a futuristic thinker. I didn't get your futuristic thinker. I think a lot of people have seen your works and they know what you've done, thinking that some way somehow become the organizer for the party. Now, I think all too soon our time is getting closer and closer. Now, I would want to touch on service, leadership. The NDC for some time now, I don't know if you believe, has been one of the, they say, has been one of the most attractive political parties. That is what is from where you sit. How does this come up? What do you think was employed to get to this level? What were the strategies?
Yeah, I think it's very strategic. The NDC did not just become the most attractive party in Ghana and one of the most attractive parties in the world. No, it just doesn't happen. It's like any human being. It's like any organization. you just don't become leader, and then people don't just gravitate towards you because they fancy your name. No. The NDC went through a lot of branding, and I give it to National, the people who were deployed or appointed at the helm of affairs to look after the NDC. They've done a fantastic work with regards to branding. The NDC, I remember 1992 coming down. If you were associated with NDC, they see you as not intellectual enough. And that narrative today has changed to the NDC becoming one of the parties that have the young intellectuals. Why? Because we have gravitated, and that gravitation came with strategic, and I would say a very strategic branding. Branding of even that NDC colors, especially the youth wing that was branded. You know, we normally have just youth. But when Operadi took over, the Green Army, you see, and you know that useful exuberant when a youth is called Green Army, and with that Green Army uniform and what have you, people bought into it. They came out, especially with the NDC colors, they came out and designed some super paraphernalias, which is in terms of t-shirt, they were really particular, and they took their time, and with time it has changed. The NDC anthems, the songs that were done for the NDC, even MPP people go to parties and they will be playing NDC song and they will be dancing. These were all thoughtful ways of branding, bringing people in, and then we look. We have such a formidable figure as a president who has led us for years. The humility. He was a communicator himself. You see the asset of a communicator. You can go to different departments, but you can carry that with you. He knows how to communicate, or how to effectively communicate. He knows how to address different audiences. He knows how to pick different pitches. These are very important from communication aspect as well. Sami Jemfi, a young man who came in, did such a great work with his team as well, carrying the whole communication arm of that NDC, the organization as well. The deputy organizer, Elikem, Mustafa Bandi, Jamin, these guys have done great work. And then our chairman, Chairman General himself, you see, Esidu Nketia, or Honorable Esidu Nketia, he is also a brain. You know, in the days, when our parents used to sit home and have conversation, when it gets to the nitty-gritty where it's difficult to take decision, Yekobisa Abrewa Abba. Esiedu Nketia became that Abrewa and Akokra within the NDC as a consultant. Every political party, you need a consultant. You need somebody who is behind the scene and looking at the pitch that you can consult, go to and say, hey, let's pull the dice that way. Let's pull it this way. Let's do it that way. And it has really worked across the country. So it was calculative. It was great branding. A lot of thoughts went into it. Very intentional. So the NDC, it is what it is today because of the human capital that led the party. So important in leadership. If the leader is wrong, or if you have a leader who can be blown by wind, then your department or your organization is in huge trouble. Because one thing leadership will bring you, it will throw so many challenges at you. It's up to that leader to see those as challenges and grow tall and just deal with them, or see them as hurdles and just jump over them, or see them as the wall of Jericho that you can't break through. And that is what defines leadership and define any organization, whether it's political or corporate. Thank you.
Right. I think I've been carried away by the conversation. In fact, I have just 1 hour for the show, but now I've exceeded 1 hour, close to an hour and 30 minutes. because the conversation is, it keeps getting more interesting. Maybe one day we should just have this one-on-one again. I'll talk to my boss about it. But say elections, just some few months away. We'll get into the elections. Your last words before we go. What should people expect? The people are coming to vote. The entire people are coming to observe and all that. The process. What should people expect?
I think all of us should have a very decent campaign. We only have one party, which is the NDC. These elections, and we shouldn't go out there looking for dirt to throw on each other, because at the end of the day, we saw what the MPP did after destroying their party. It was difficult to bring that party back together. So we should have a very decent campaign. We should go out there and speak and talk to people, campaign on our skill set, our track record, what we can do and what we have done, rather than going about saying any treacherous things about individuals. So let's all of us have a very decent campaign, and at the same time, I expect the good comrades of the NDC across the globe, it doesn't matter where you have in your election, to ensure that we critically analyze who we vote for, because we want to vote for people with a requisite skill set, who talk the talk and also walk the walk. That to me is very, very important. Thank you.
Today, Ghana News TV, we are the masters of the game.
UK Ireland chapter, organizational team with innovation ideas, the best choice. And this is coming from Keo Acha. People, it's been a very interesting show today. My guest, our lovely guest on the show was Mr. Fifi Asante-Mpare. Mr. Fifi Mpare, thank you so much for your time. And Obi also joining you on the show. It's been a great and let me say, more insightful interview or conversation, if I should put it that way, with Mr. Fifi Asante. God bless you for your time, sir. And all our listeners and viewers across the globe, wherever you're watching us from, we say thank you to you. DC, Honorable Nana, come, please, this evening, wherever you are, a big salute to you. You always make time to join the program. I would like us to one day have a one-on-one interview on the Premier. I think that would be very nice. Today I sat in for my own brother colleague, Albert Alan, that's on this particular show. My name is Lawrence Sapine, but I want to say a big salute going out to Honorable Ni Ama Ashite, the incoming Chamu for NDC. Honorable, wherever you are, I salute you. I pray that the whole of Ghana and the NDC will endorse you as the new chairman of the NDC. I won't say much. It's been a beautiful show today. I will see you on Thursday on the Premier, live on this same channel. You wouldn't want to miss this episode coming up. So please, thank you and stay blessed. We are out for today. See you next time. Bye.
The country where I come from, the truth is an irony. Just like animal farm, justice mean in